Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the live stream tonight. Live from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about the news, talk about the markets, we'll talk about Bitcoin and DeFi. I'm going to move some crypto around for you, and like I said, I'll get to your questions. So thanks for joining me. Let's get this thing going. So welcome everybody. I'm here tonight. It's Sunday. Didn't do the live stream last night. I'm here in my lair. Got the rig in the background doing its bright white thing to light up this side of my face until I can get a second key light, which I keep talking about, haven't done yet. But thanks for everybody joining me. I'm going to pop out chat here. Let's move over here. Ding. Let's move over here. Let's pop out chat, take a look at who's here. Dan Westra is here. Welcome again, Dan. Nice to have you. Hash Brown was first here. Thank you very much for that. Actually, why don't I move to this? Yeah. Juan Hayes again, another repeat viewer. I appreciate that. Media Man. Thoughts on staking snacks? I like snacks. I've got a bunch of snacks staked in my fridge. Haha. Milky Way, Kit Kats. I like to keep them nice and cool. I gotta admit, guys, that I'm starting to feel like a dinosaur. All these new projects coming out, I'm having trouble keeping up. But we'll get to as much as I can. So before we get going too far, I would like to point out here in the description of the video are my affiliate links, crypto.com. You can still get that $50 bonus if you sign up and stake a card. They're going to be ending it this month, so if you want to get that $50 bonus, I would advise you to do that. It's going to go down to 25. Boo-hoo. Kraken, if you want to get a good US-based cryptocurrency exchange account that does tend to have a lot of newer tokens that you don't see on Coinbase or even Binance US. Kraken is a good choice. The cryptocurrency hardware wallet Ledger, which is my go-to wallet for all of my long-term cryptocurrency storage needs. And of course, the Brave browser, which I use on a regular basis, blocks ads and tracking by default. Got a couple of affiliate links here for Binance US and Coinbase. They're both really good US-based cryptocurrency exchanges. Binance US is not in every state. Actually, I don't know that Coinbase is in New York yet. It might be, but it's not in every state. But anyway, they're good exchanges for those of you who are in their areas, so I encourage you to sign up for those. I've got some other interesting links down in the description below, and then I've also got the news stories that we'll cover tonight linked in the description in case you want to read them more on your own. So let's hit the news. I'm going to talk about DeFi, and so some of these news stories are relating directly to that. So let's see. We'll talk about that first market news there. I guess I dropped it wherever it went. Let's see if we can find it again. Whoops. Here we go. Here we go. All right. So yeah, of course, we like to hear good news. I like to put the feel-good stories up front. Bitcoin is a little bit in a range, has been for a while. Everyone's looking for that big breakout or that big pullback, whatever the case may be, right? But we'll talk a little bit about how news has affected Bitcoin in some of these stories. But this is the most recent story on Cointelegraph as of today about Bitcoin. They talk a lot. I mean, there's a lot of nobody really knows which way markets are going to go, be they cryptocurrency markets or stock markets or anything like that. So there's no magic formula, right? If there was, then everyone in the world would be rich and nobody would be poor, right? But I don't think markets would actually work that way. So no one really knows where the market's going to go, but they have a lot of theories and they've got a lot of analysis and predictions and percentages and all that kind of thing. So there's a lot of that chart analysis, which and then a lot of people will say, oh, these patterns mean it's going to go up, and then there's other guys on this that'll say the same thing about those patterns and say, oh no, they mean it's going to go down. So I don't take a lot of stock, but of course we have to start somewhere, right? So there's chart analysis. But one of the factors that a lot of people talk about with Bitcoin as far as where the price is going to go up or down is the amount of Bitcoin on exchanges. So the idea here is that if there's a bunch of, how's it work? No, I can't even remember. I think it's that if there's a bunch of Bitcoin on exchanges, then that means that people are about to sell, right? They've got their Bitcoin on the exchange. They're waiting to pull the trigger. And if there's less Bitcoin on exchanges, this is bullish for Bitcoin because that means that people are withdrawing Bitcoin to their own wallets and they don't want to sell Bitcoin. They're hoarding Bitcoin, right? So that's the idea with that pattern, all right? So apparently right now there's exchanges. The Bitcoin held on exchanges is going down. Now, part of that is from the BITMEX, which was indicted. We talked about that last week on regulatory misconduct by the CTCF, CB, FCC, whatever the heck, U.S. Financial agencies that can sue anybody in the world are. They indicted them. And of course, BitMEX is still around. The guys are out on bail, the ones that were actually arrested. The others are in countries where they can't be extradited. But the exchange is still on. But people are withdrawing their Bitcoin from the exchange because of these legal troubles that they're in. Now, there was another story, too, which we'll get to in a minute, about a different exchange in China that was frozen. I don't know if it's unfrozen yet. But anyway, we'll get to that. So I thought maybe you might want to read this story in a little more depth, where it talks about exactly how much is being taken off, and is Bitcoin going to go up or down based on this. Our hope is that it's going to go up, right? We all want, all of us here that are Bitcoin enthusiasts would like to see the price go up. I think that's the whole idea, right? So I'll leave that to you guys to check out in more depth. And like I said, there's another story that I'd like to cover that is, let's see, where are we at here? All right, so I can't miss. I switched between Brave and Chrome. So BTC OKB. Okay, that's the one that I wanted to talk about. That's OKB. Where is that? Of course, that's not here either. All right, well, I put it in here, I'm pretty sure. Yes. Okay, so this was the one, BTC and OKB is the actual cryptocurrency token of OKEx. I think I have an OKEx account that I opened a while back. I don't have anything on there, but I do, I believe, have an account, but I haven't used it in quite a while. It's a Chinese exchange, so it was a little tricky for an English speaker to use. They always are. But it was investigated, and this is the original story. There have been a lot of follow-up development stories since the actual breaking of this news. But I brought up this story because I thought it was interesting that they said Bitcoin plunges, and I was following the market that day, and it didn't really plunge. That word plunge gets used a lot. It got used a lot in 2017 whenever Bitcoin would pull back a little bit as it was heading for its all-time high. You would see a lot of stories about Bitcoin plunges, but they never really talked about when it went up much until it got to where they just couldn't ignore it anymore. And so one of my things is whenever I see a Bitcoin plunges story, I know times are good, right? Oh boy, the more the Bitcoin plunge story. But anyway, there wasn't much of a plunge. It was about 11 something. I forget now, 11.5, 11.6, whatever it was. And it went down to like 11.3, I don't know, 11.4. It probably says in the story here, yeah, it fell 3%. I mean, that's hardly a plunge with Bitcoin. But yeah, the head of the exchange was investigated. I guess they got him arrested finally. He wasn't showing up for work, that kind of thing. Who knows? But that was a mover shaker kind of story that would in the past really have gouged the market quite a bit, and it would have taken a month or two or several months for the market to recover from something like this. We talked about this last week. There's a lot of bad news hitting Bitcoin and Bitcoin seems to be weathering those storms. Not horrible news, but the BITMEX thing was last week, and now we have this thing, OKEx, under investigation. Withdrawals were suspended. I don't know if they're back now. They might be. Anyone that knows. But it didn't really affect the price of Bitcoin that much. So that's good. And then there's also a lot of good news. We talked about last week, Square bought $50 million worth of Bitcoin, and there have been some other big firms that have made some big purchases. So in light of that, I guess we can move to the story. Big treasure. Let's talk about that big treasure story, because that seems to be, if these big companies are buying Bitcoin and holding it, they're sort of gonna hopefully open the floodgates to more, let's say conservative firms doing the same. Maybe trading firms, maybe hedge funds. Those sort of companies will start buying Bitcoin. Maybe even a company like, say, Amazon or Apple or Google or whoever, like any of these big tech companies that have balance sheets. And if they decide to buy a large chunk, they might decide to buy a large chunk of Bitcoin as a reserve. So we don't know where that could lead, right? Well, we hope that will lead to more adoption, more acceptance, and higher prices for Bitcoin in the long run, right? So this is a good story about what could come next now that these big companies have very publicly purchased large amounts of Bitcoin to add to their war chest, so to speak, right? That's all good news. And is it a reserve asset? There's been a lot of talk. Is it a reserve asset? Is it like gold? Is it more like a stock? Is it different? We don't know. Does it follow the stock market? Does it follow gold? There's all these descriptions. And it has, to some extent, followed the stock market and gold in times past and been reverse barometer for both of those. So we don't really know. We're hoping that Bitcoin will find its own niche and won't rely so much on the markets. But we still, right now, we still have this correlation with stock market drops, right? We had the big plunge in March, and when that occurred, Bitcoin fell, along with everything else, right? So you can't really blame Bitcoin too much because everything was falling. People were liquidating. But hopefully Bitcoin won't fall when we get the next big market drop. That's what I'm hoping. I'm waiting for another big stock market drop where Bitcoin is unaffected or goes up, right? That's what I'm hoping for. But this is a good article. You might want to check it out. Like I said, it's all linked down in the description below. I see there's some people throwing stuff up over here on the side. Dan is here. What type of box are you using in your rig? Dan, my rig is well, let's go over here. Just so you guys can see. Turn this off. I can't do it in time. All right, I'm just going to let it go. All right. This is a Corsair case. It's one of their Crystal 570, I believe, case. And there's an Asus motherboard in there. I bought this case specifically because it had a mount in the back here that allowed me to mount the graphic card vertically. That was the goal of this particular rig. This rig was the first time I ever mounted a GPU vertically, and it was also the first time I ever used a water-cooled system. And I used the Corsair water-cooled system. So it's an Intel i9 CPU. It's an Asus X299 motherboard. It's got Corsair LED RAM. It's got Samsung solid state drives, XM2 solid state. It's got two M2 solid state drives in there. You know, it's my thing. You know, that's what I've been doing. That's my hobby, is my rig. And I mean, you can see here, if we do this, yeah, this is a 1 terabyte solid state drive. I believe it's a Samsung solid state drive. And then this one is the 2 terabyte Evo solid state drive that I use for storage, right? So the 2 terabyte is where I keep my Windows files, right? If you look, it's got the documents, music, and pictures. You can move those, right? So, you know, my boot up drive I like to keep pretty clean, although I do have Steam on there, which all my games are on the main drive. But I try to use the secondary drive for, you know, everything else, for documents, music, pictures, my videos. I do my video editing on this rig. I do my cryptocurrency on this rig. I don't separate my cryptocurrency from my main computer. Some people do that. You know, I do crypto all the time. It would be very inconvenient for me to have to flip back and forth between machines. So, you know, I make sure that, you know, I've got Malwarebytes Premium on here for malware. I've got, oh yeah, I think I need to update my prescription. I think I'm fine. I think that comes in February. And then I have ESET Internet Security for my virus protection and firewall, which I've been using for many years. It's a subscription-based software. And, you know, of course, I don't click on crazy links and load a bunch of bloatware, spyware, crudware on my computer, right? I'm very particular about what I install on my computer. So there we go. That was Dan's question. He asked me a question that I really wanted to answer. So Rudolph is here. Juan is here. Dave is here. Liz is here. Second CryptoDad. Welcome, Liz. I'm glad you're here. Nobility Black is here. Peace, I'm curious what type of wallets big companies are using to store their Bitcoin. Very good question. That is an extremely good question, because it would, you know, I don't know that Twitter is storing $50 million worth of Bitcoin on one ledger device, right? If they're even doing that. Now, I know that Coinbase has custodial solutions where they have so-called cold wallets, and I think they're pretty. I would imagine that they're pretty like heavy duty. But you know, a wallet is a wallet. You know, basically a cryptocurrency wallet is simply a Bitcoin address. It is a way to manage a Bitcoin address, and they all boil down to a private key somewhere. So how that private key is stored is what's important, right? Of course, you definitely need a way to interface with that. So, I mean, cold storage is great until you need access to the Bitcoin or other cryptocurrency that's stored in the cold wallet. And then you've got usability issues when it comes to that, right? So, yeah, I mean, you can store all your Bitcoin in a paper wallet, and then you know, you can encrust that paper wallet in lead and bury it 50 feet under the ground. That's probably the most secure way you can store your Bitcoin, but what if you need access to it, right? That's when usability comes into play. And that's why I like the Ledger Nano X, because it has a good mix of usability and security, right? It's a standalone device. Of course, it does connect to the computer via USB, but you need to manipulate the buttons in order to access the private key, or what we call signed transactions. And that's when you send Bitcoin out, right? When you send Bitcoin out of the wallet, that's when you need to sign the transaction. It's usually done with phone-based or hot wallets simply by clicking send, or maybe you might have to enter a password or whatever. But with a cold wallet, you've got to do more, right? You have to actually press buttons to sign the transaction, right? So gosh, I don't know how these big corporations are storing their Bitcoin. They may have huge mainframes that are offline, that kind of thing. But, they may have multiple computers with simply, like the Electrum Bitcoin wallet installed on them, and they're air gapped or whatever. However they do it, right? It's a good question, right? I really don't know. Okay, BTC dump this month. Be careful, y'all. Scott, well, why are you scaring everybody? Would you explain the master key system Kraken is using for 2FA rather than writing down the backup code typical for other exchanges? I have Kraken, and I use 2FA. I'm using a, where is this darn thing? It's not in here at the moment. I probably misplaced it again. Pooies. I don't know where it is. I'm using a hardware device, which I can't find right now. Don't know what I did with it. That's not very good, right? It's around here somewhere. I don't know. Maybe I stuck it over here. If I can find this dumb thing. Pooies. Where'd I put it? Well, here's one. It's this is a what do they call this thing? A YubiKey. And this is a Lightning connector or USB-C hardware two-factor. Damn it. 2FA device, right? I'm not sure what you're asking me about with Kraken. Maybe Kraken has their own. Yeah, I really wish I knew what happened to the 2FA thing that I was using. It's yeah, it's a little bit. Oh, what if you lose that thing, right? Where is that thing? Poo-poo. All right, I guess we're not getting into Kraken. I don't know. I don't know where it is. It'll turn up. Anyway, so when I log into Kraken, which I won't be able to today because I don't have that 2FA, it's a little connector that goes in the USB port, and you have to touch it. That's how I log into Kraken with 2FA. I don't know how you log into Kraken with 2FA. Master key system. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. Maybe they've added some additional layers of security on top of their regular 2FA, which maybe I should check into. But I mean, I've never had any trouble logging into Kraken with my until I lost the damn thing. Anyway, I won't. I'll try not to go. I'll try not to freak out on you here. I don't know what the devil happened to that stupid little thing. Anyway, I'll have to look under the desk and stuff later. Unless somebody came in and stole it. But it's really the only thing that I use it for is Kraken, and it was just to test it. But it works. So a bunch of faucets while you watch. I've done a bunch of faucets while you watch YouTube videos. Not sure. Whoops. Okay. Not sure how you know what's ERC. I imagine it's CoinGecko somewhere. Yes, it is. If you're looking up a coin on CoinGecko, you just check it out. It'll usually tell you it's a token, right? That's usually right here. It'll say token. And then on Explorers, it's Etherscan. That's usually a good indication. But you have to be careful, Sometimes they were ERC20 tokens and now they're not. There's a lot of them like that. Tron used to be like that, or well, Tron still is like that. There might be some ERC20 tokens of Tron still floating out there, but you'll see, right, it says Smart Token Contract Platform, right? And then BTC, they're going to call that just a cryptocurrency, right? So in tags, it's like if you're not sure if it's an ERC20 token. Now another way to know is like if you see it on Uniswap or whatever. So anyway, I haven't seen any heavy. I want to stake ADA, but it's not available in Coinbase. Binance US not available in my state. I'm learning Kraken Exchange before I download so I can buy ADA and other tokens. Yes, I believe you can buy. Yes, you can buy ADA on Kraken. Damn it! Where is that stupid thing? Man, that's just like really bugs me. Anyway, all right. Just not going to go there. All right. I can't do Kraken for you because I lost my little thingy. We'll get through it, won't we? Is it on the floor? No? Okay. Let it go, Rex. You'll find it. It's around here somewhere. So anyway, yeah, Kraken is a good exchange. It's US based. I don't know about Gemini. They may have ADA. You can buy ADA on CoinSwitch Pro if you would like to buy CoinSwitch Pro. You can buy a lot of different cryptocurrencies. Now you have to start with cryptocurrency. Well, they have a card where you can use to buy with a card, but I'm not really into that, right? But let's say you've got Tether, right? Let's say you've got 100 Tether and you want to buy ADA. Boom, there you go. Right? So in this case, of course, you're going to need a wallet, right? You'll need a Cardano wallet. So you can download and install the Daedalus wallet for Cardano. Just create a new wallet, an empty wallet. And then you can send to that wallet, right? It should sync up in a minute. But the way that CoinSwitch Pro works, and of course it's not going to do it right away while I'm talking. Okay, there it goes. All right. Okay. All right, so main. Oh yeah, we're in main. Okay, so if we're in main and we want to receive ADA, then it gives us multiple ADA addresses to play around with. It doesn't really matter that much. If you've used it, if you've received ADA, you can turn off the ones you've already used or show the ones you've already used. It's ideally you would want to send to a new address each time to increase your privacy, right? So that all the transactions don't appear on one receiving address. But, just take one of these addresses, copy it into your clipboard, and then you should be able to just paste it here and hit exchange. Oops. Oh, it doesn't like that ADA address. Okay. It's because it's a Shelly address. It doesn't like that address. Let's try that again. It doesn't like that Shelly address. Huh. Okay. I don't know what to say about that. Maybe you can't buy ADA. Oh, Lord. I don't know. Maybe if you used an older... God, really? It won't take a Shelly address. That's messed up. Okay. All right. Did I put two of them in there at the same time? Apparently not. It looks like I used it before, but maybe not. Okay. Oh, is it going to take it? No, it's not. Okay. Poo-poos. All right. So I guess you would have to use a legacy Byron address in order to withdraw, right? You'd have to create a brand new wallet, which is a real pain. I don't know where you do that. Come on, man. You've done this before, haven't you? Okay, there we go. Add wallet. Okay, so we'd have to create a new wallet. Actually, I don't think you can create a Byron wallet anymore. You don't even have the option in Daedalus. So, okay, so you can't buy ADA on CoinSwitch Pro anymore. Unless you've got an old ADA wallet. Anyway, I don't want to get bogged down with stuff that doesn't work. All right, let's go ahead and finish up what I was talking about with the news. I wanted to bring this up because we talked about DeFi in the past, and we talked about KAVA before. I've done some videos on KAVA. I think I did some KAVA on a live stream a while back. Let's go back over here. But KAVA has just released, come on Rex, where are you? Their new KAVA 4 gateway. And this is really exciting. I'm a little perturbed that it's not fully functional yet. You know, it's like you're putting a lot of money in this, and then there's like these bugs or whatever you want to call them, or not full functionality, and you're like, dude, what's up? And they're like, oh, we're still working. I'm like, okay, I'm trusting you with thousands of dollars and you're still working on it. Okay. But anyway, but this is quite interesting. And what's really interesting about this new KAVA platform is that they're allowing you to wrap Bitcoin and stake wrapped Bitcoin on their platform. There are very few platforms out there where you can stake Bitcoin, right? You can deposit Bitcoin in cryptocurrency exchanges, and they will hold it for you and pay you good interest. But they're holding it, not you. And, if you're a true crypto enthusiast, you go by the rule, not your keys, not your coins, right? So I've talked about staking quite a bit. It basically just means letting someone borrow the use of your coin through some sort of smart contract or staking mechanism where you maintain control of the private key, and you have the option to unstake whenever you want, right? Those are your coins in your wallet. I've got some ADA that's being staked, right? So if we look at this staking in ADA, and then you can see that both of these wallets are being staked in a stake pool. And these two, AHL, are where my ADA is being staked. And I'm earning rewards. You can say I've been earning rewards for a couple months now, staking my ADA. Now, the nice thing that I like about ADA is that you can stake it and then unstake it instantaneously. In order to unstake this ADA, I simply have to withdraw it, right? That's pretty cool. Now, this KAVA thing, let me show it to you real quick. And I'll show you what I mean by not functional. If I can find it. Oh, okay. Okay, here we go. Sorry. I adjust my resolution when I do this live stream, so I have trouble with my bookmarks. All right, so you connect. This is the KAVA.io website, right? I'll put a link to this in the description, right? You can go to this website. Now you can connect to a Ledger account by doing this, but in order to do it, you need to be in the Cosmos app. So let me show you what that looks like. Of course, you need to go to Ledger Live first and install the Cosmos app. All right, because KAVA is built on Cosmos. All right, so I'm in the Cosmos app right now. Let's see, let's go over here. We'll use our buttons to get over here to quit. And then here it is at the top level, the Cosmos app, right? And you would just go into the Ledger Manager and install the Cosmos app onto your device, right? So, and this is another one of those coins that is not usable in Ledger Live. Now, you can stake Cosmos in Ledger Live if you want to, right? So, as you can see, I've got Cosmos app installed. And then if you don't, you simply just look for it. and install it, right? And once it's on your device, you can go over here and add a Cosmos account. I don't have one anymore. And you can manage Cosmos, and you can even stake Cosmos within the Ledger Live app. But Cosmos will do so much more, right? If we connect it to the KAVA website, it's more than just a website, right? It's, whoops, right. It's a platform, right? So we can use Trust or Ledger. I like Ledger better, right? Now, we talked about this before. You can deposit BNB coin into this wallet, right? And then you can lock your BNB coin in this wallet. And once it's locked as collateral, you can borrow USDX. Now, right now, USDX doesn't really do anything. That you can't sell it. You could send it to somebody that might want it, that might pay you for it, like in a peer-to-peer kind of thing. But there's no exchanges that'll buy USDX. But you do get awarded KAVA for minting it, right? So when you borrow USDX, you can see I've borrowed 610 USDX. I'm earning KAVA as by doing that. A good amount of KAVA, right? Now, so that's where we stood before, right? As you can see, I've borrowed 62% of my limit based on my collateral. And I've got more. I could borrow more, but I don't want to leverage myself that high, because you can see up here the liquidation price of BNB is 1905. So I have to keep an eye on BNB coin. If it falls below $19 per coin, I can get liquidated, right? So right now it's at 30 and it's been pretty stable. So I'm comfortable with this liquidation price. But the more USDX you borrow, the higher the liquidation price, right? So if I borrowed 300 more, my liquidation price would be like $28. I don't want to do that. I could easily liquidate. I could wake up one morning and be liquidated, right? I don't want that, right? So I'm a little leveraged, right? I think the mid one is 54%, right? That's the safe balance, right? Now this is all cool. Now this BNB is wrapped BNB, right? I've loaded the BNB into this wallet. Up here where we see balances, this is what I'm talking about the functionality. I can't load BNB, I can't withdraw BNB, and I'm just like, really bothers me. They updated this, I don't know, it's been almost 3 days now since this wallet has no functionality. It used to be there were only 3 things here. It used to just be KAVA, USDX, and BNB. And there were buttons here. There used to be buttons here that you could load and withdraw your BNB. Now, I didn't discover this till I thought, hey, I think I'll withdraw some of my BNB. And then I went to do it, and I was like, whoa, look at all these other coins they've got now. That's great, but I can't withdraw my BNB. And I went on their Telegram channel and I asked about it, and everybody was like, yeah, they're still working on it, or the chain has to update, or whatever the heck the deal is. I'm just going to be patient, right? This is one of these things you have to learn about in cryptocurrency world, is sometimes you just have to be patient. All right. The functionality is, I can see that this will be functional. It worked before. I'll give it some time, and, all right. So, but as it stands, I'm still earning KAVA rewards on this BNB, this USDX that I borrowed. Now, here's the cool thing. Well, up here, they've added this functionality, right? I can go down here. I can load BTCB, which is Binance Coin Bitcoin, right? It would have to be wrapped Bitcoin, which you can do in Binance, the Binance Smart Chain, right? Or you can load Binance US dollar, which is the Binance stablecoin. And by doing that, when we load that in, right? Well, let's say we load this Binance US dollar in here, we could do the exact same thing that we were doing with the regular BNB, which was borrowing USDX, right? So they've made a major upgrade here. What's this? BUSD, I don't know, it's another one. XRP, Binance wrapped. So you could, if you had BTC, you could wrap it on Binance and then load it into this and earn sick rewards, right? The KAVA is one of the first platforms that's going to allow you to actually stake your Bitcoin and earn interest on it. So I think that's just amazing. When this becomes functional, I will let you guys know. I mean, you couldn't even do it now if you wanted to, because if you were starting from scratch, you couldn't load anything in here, right? So hopefully this will resolve itself soon, and I think this is big news for KAVA. I think that's really amazing. Now I would like to turn to PancakeSwap, and the reason I want to talk about PancakeSwap is I did a video on PancakeSwap. We talked about PancakeSwap last week, and I got a comment on my YouTube channel about this particular project, and the comment was the code is not audited and the developers are anonymous, and what's to stop them from just withdrawing all the coin. And then they said when you authorize coins in this, it authorizes the developer to withdraw the coins whenever they want. I'm not too sure about that. It sort of looks like that. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but we can't really ask the developers because they're anonymous. But we talked about this last week. Let me see if let's try this. I'm just going to go to the video. Let's see here. Yeah. I'm going to go to the video because go to the video. Well, I'm just going to go to the description here. Okay. Yeah. So the first thing that I said to the commenter when he posted that was, well, he said it's not endorsed by CZ, is what he said. And I was kind of like, well, if it's not endorsed by CZ, then why is it on the Binance Academy website, right? Why would Binance put it on their Binance Academy website? It does, and it's on the Binance Smart Chain. And his response was, because Binance wants people to use it because it's on their smart chain, which I guess that too. But it just kind of goes to show you that you have to look over everything very carefully because it says it right here. Launched by anonymous devs with a penchant for breakfast. And then at some point they tell you that it's not... let's see. At some point they tell you that it's not God damn it, now I can't think of the word for it. Crap. I said it just a few minutes ago. Audited. The word is audited. It's not audited, and they say it in here somewhere. I don't know where, but it does. Oh, here. Okay, there we go. As of September 23rd, PancakeSwap has not been audited. Depositing smart funds always carries the risk of bugs. Well, I don't know if you would call a backdoor that was purposely put in there by the developers a bug, but you could call it that, I guess, if all of your funds suddenly disappear. I tend to be a little more... This is my take on this kind of thing. It's sort of like, I lived in Indonesia for a few years when I was teaching English. That's where I met my wife. And they had a lot of food stands on the side of the road, and which kind of always amazed me because I'm from the US, and you know, in the US you got to have like a license, you got to have like health code check, you got to have all this stuff to run a business or whatever. And in that country it's like you got a bicycle with a grill on the back, you're a mobile restaurant, you know. And my take on it was, oh, and you know, my parents visited and they're like, I'm not going to eat that. I'm like, well, if the guy was selling rotten food, he wouldn't be in business very long, would he? I mean, seriously, if you're like living hand to mouth and you're making money by selling tacos or baso or ayam bubu or whatever you're selling, the food that you're selling, if you're like selling poison, people aren't going to be your customer very long, right? So that's kind of the way I think of things like this, you know, like if, of course, it could be an exit scam, right? And but I'll finish the thought. If they're stealing people's money, they're not going to be making very much money because as soon as they steal everybody's money, no one's going to put any more money in this thing, right? But, you know, the flip side of that is perhaps it's a huge exit scam and they'll steal all their money when they think they got enough, and then they won't need any more of your money, right? But let's look at I have a little article that is in the description here below. Down here. Where's my news stories? Okay, here we go. Escalating DeFi scams tarnishing the crypto yield. And where is it? Okay. So this article sort of covers that whole issue. But I would like to just tell everyone, you know, the commenter, very, of course, it was the right thing to say, was that he told me personally that I'm not warning people when I show these things, right? When I advertise these platforms. So I'm not really advertising these platforms. I'm demonstrating how to use them, which is a little bit different. But the distinction is pretty fine to most people, right? So I guess what he was saying is you should you should give a disclaimer at the beginning or in your description or whatever, you know, that these things are risky and blah, 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 blah. But, you know, I do try to get across to everyone that I'm not telling you to run out and put all your money in these things. I'm just kind of showing you how to use them. But sometimes people don't realize that. They see me doing something online and they rush into it, and then they lose a bunch of money, and then they're thinking, well, CryptoDad said to do it. So I'm going to tell you now, I'm not, you know, that buyer beware, right? Do your research. Don't jump into these things unless you're sure. And as always, in any cryptocurrency investment, whatever it may be, whether you're buying Bitcoin, the granddaddy, be prepared to lose your entire investment, right? You never know what's going to happen, especially in the cryptocurrency sphere. Although it seems that lately Bitcoin is becoming more and more of the stable investment as opposed to DeFi, where now we talk about yield farming, and that there are different ways to yield farm. Staking is a type of yield farming, but providing liquidity in PancakeSwap or Uniswap or SushiSwap or whatever. These are all ways where you can put your money, crypto, to work for you. But there are risks associated with those. There's impermanent loss, which can occur if one of the coins of your trading pair tanks, right? Or shoots up. You could lose money if your coin goes crazy, if one of your coins goes crazy because you're providing liquidity, you're providing a balance. You might have made more money if you'd just held the one coin that went skyrocketing, right? So there are ways to lose by providing liquidity on both ends, right? If the coin tanks or the coin skyrockets. So it's a risky thing, but it's also a pretty easy way to gain passive income on crypto that you already own, right? So anyway, we talked a little bit about PancakeSwap last week. I just wanted to kind of show you for those of you who aren't aware, you can connect to your MetaMask wallet with PancakeSwap, but you have to have the Binance Smart Chain network set up, right? And I show you how to do that in the PancakeSwap video, right? So once you do that and the wallet is connected to your PancakeSwap, you can do liquidity, right? So if you do this pool here, it says there's no liquidity found because I took my liquidity pool tokens and staked them, right? So it's kind of interesting when you, like Uniswap, you create a liquidity pool pair and then you just sort of sit on it and wait for it to make money for you. But in PancakeSwap, you can take your liquidity pool tokens and stake those, right? So here we got the Cake BNB liquidity pool token. They're calling it Cake BNB Flip, right? And so you can see I've got some Cake BNB Flip tokens staked here, and I'm earning cake, right? So I can earn cake, and then I can stake my cake for syrup, and then I can stake my syrup for, you know, some of these newer coins. So it's a whole ecosystem, right? Brand new, but it could be risky, right? So you have to know what you're doing. You have to check on it on a regular basis and all that good stuff, right? Oh, and I wanted to show you guys the Tron equivalent of that, which is the Sun. And Sun is basically the same thing, right? This particular page here, this is the home. You're actually staking liquidity pool tokens again. I'll put that up here. And then you get them on JustSwap. Why is everything named after Justin Sun? I mean, you've got the Sun token, you've got the Just token, you've got the Just Swap, you know, exchange, man. I mean, the guy's like, anyway. All right, so now with JustSwap, you would be connecting with the Tron Link wallet, right? So the Tron Link wallet is very similar to MetaMask, right? It's a browser extension. It's non-custodial. You create an empty wallet and you get a backup seed phrase, which you keep in a safe place, and you can load Tron in there. And then once you've got Tron in this wallet, you can do swaps, right? Because you can see I've got some Tron in here. Oh, it seems like I have more than that. It's telling me I have 1222. Oh, okay. Now it says I only have 720. Okay, whatever. I guess it's part of the stake, whatever. So anyway, I can buy one token for another very quickly, easily, right? I could max out, make the swap, right? Then they also have pools. As you can see, I've got Sun Tron in this pool. It's interesting, it's showing up here, but when you go over to the Sun, right, you can see that I've taken that Sun Tron liquidity pool token and staked it, and I'm earning Sun by doing that, right? Every interface is slightly different, but the concept is the same, right? I'm taking my liquidity pool. They gave me liquidity pool tokens in exchange for the Tron and the Sun that I deposited in the liquidity pool. But I can take those liquidity pool tokens and actually stake those and earn rewards on those too. Very similar to the way PancakeSwap works. So I thought that I would sort of demo those, both of those, PancakeSwap and Tron. But you have to understand, you know, you got to watch these APYs. When this thing first debuted about less than a month ago, this APY for this Sun Tron liquidity pool token was like 1,000%, right? Now it's down to 62% APY, right? And if we look at PancakeSwap, which is over here in my break, this one's at 637. It's actually up a little bit, but this one was also like 1,000% a few weeks back. So these, you know, you got to monitor these. You got to watch these, right? So PancakeSwap, I can connect my MetaMask wallet if I'm using the Binance Smart Chain network. And if you're not sure what I mean by that, you should check out this video on how you set up PancakeSwap, because I explain how you do it. There's some settings that you need to put in. And then also, you can go on Uniswap, and you can do the same thing with MetaMask, but you have to be on the main Ethereum network to do that, right? And when you connect there, then you've got access to the Ethereum in this MetaMask wallet, right? I've connected this MetaMask wallet to my swap, Uniswap, right? So I can, I've got some ETH here. I can swap it for another token. Whatever, I don't know, whatever you're after, right? Right, and then what's it gonna? I don't know why they. Let me just try that. Huh? Okay, doesn't like that for some reason. I don't know why. Let's try that. Okay. Oops. Okay, there you go. All right. Of course, I'm not going to do that. You shouldn't max out your ETH, right? But so we've got 3 different platforms where we can connect to a browser-based extension wallet like MetaMask or over there, the Tron thing, Tron Link, right? And trade tokens or participate in liquidity pools to earn passive income on your crypto. But like I said, there are risks involved. If the price of the coin tanks, then when you go to pull your coins out of the liquidity pool, you end up having less than what you put in there. And that's not what you want, right? The idea is you keep it in there, and if the price stays stable, you're making money off the trades of other people. Now, you can also do more what you would call conservative type investments, right? So if we go here to I think maybe it's over here in this browser. If we go to Uniswap ROI, and we go over here to pools, we can look at the highest yield pools out there, and they're constantly changing, right? What used to be, a slam dunk last week is now yesterday's news, right? But these are the highest yields. But then they've got the highest liquidity, right? So if you're using ETH and wrapped Bitcoin, that price volatility the risk is much lower, right? Because there's a lot less price volatility in these bigger coins like ETH and US dollar coin. The APRs are lower, but it's a good place to park your coin instead of it just sitting in the wallet doing nothing, right? So there are safer strategies than the, I'm gonna, get rich overnight liquidity pools like these. And even these aren't as high as they were a few weeks back, right? They burn out quick, right? All right, so let's scroll down and see who's asking questions. If there's anybody mad at me. Yeah, Justin's son is kind of weird. One should not put their money on non-audited yield farms. Be careful. Okay, right. So PancakeSwap is non-audited. Oh, by the way, this speaking of audits, the Sun, where is it? They had a Sun smart contract has been verified by Slow Mist. Check out the audit report here, right? So the Sun platform is audited. They've got an audit report, and it's in English, lo and behold, right? So this code has been audited, right? So yes, in a perfect world, you would definitely want the audited ones, right? And I guess Uniswap is audited, and that's one of the things that they talk about in this article that we brought up earlier. No, not this one. This one. Escalating DeFi scam. The reason that they're catching people in these is because of that mentality. You're chasing the FOMO market action, right? You don't care if it's audited or not, right? You're just looking to make that next, that your fear of missing out, right? You want to jump in on the latest thing before it burns out, right? You don't really care. That's kind of what I did with PancakeSwap, right? Okay, PancakeSwap is not audited, but it does, to me, feel like a thing, right? That's up and coming. I could be wrong, right? I don't want to steer anybody wrong here. And the price of the cake token has taken quite a hit in the last couple of days, right? But they got a lot of stuff coming out pretty soon. It could be an exit scam, right? But people said that about Bitcoin. People still say that about Bitcoin, right? So use your best judgment, right? And so you got to balance that, right? Am I going for this thing where this looks like there's good money to be made? And I made some money out that PancakeSwap thing. Like that first week, I think I made a couple $100 just from cake that got I earned cake staking, right? Now I pulled some of it out last week because I felt like maybe I had too much in there, and I pulled some of it out, and it did drop, but it could go back up. But before that happened, I had made a couple $100 that I had withdrawn and actually used, right? So, get it while it's good and maybe get in and get out. You never know. But don't get caught holding the bag, right? But like I said, the whole thing, there are more conservative ways. Like I'm not worried at all about the coins that I have staked in my Daedalus wallet. Good, stable platform. Not making huge gains, but I'm not worried either, right? There are more conservative ways to earn passive income, but they're not going to make you rich overnight. But they might make you rich in the long run, So anyway, let's see. Gives interest. Celsius Network gives interest paid out every Monday on any crypto you store in the wallet, and you can withdraw at any time. Okay, that's pretty cool. So that's worth looking into. I've heard people mention this before to me. Is this it? Looks kind of weird. Okay. This must be it. I mean, the icon looks familiar, somewhat familiar to me. I've never done this. I've never been on this particular... It looks kind of bare bones to me. Or I'm at the help center, right? Why am I'm at the help center? I don't want the help center. Why is it... why am I not on the main page? Oh, okay. Maybe it's only... okay. Okay, let's go back here. Why can't I... Oh. Let me just see if I can take this support out. It's going to do anything. Let's try that. It's going to do that? No, it's not. No? Yes? Yes. What? Okay. That's great. Vincent Vega. Okay, so this looks like it is the one, right? You can earn, borrow, pay, right? I've heard of this, but I've never used it. So maybe I should do a video on this, eh? I'll put this in new technology. Wherever it is, there it is. Yeah, better check that out. All right, so we got a lot of, I mean, like I said at the beginning of this, sometimes I feel like it's just happening too fast, right? You never know where things are going, right? So I'm assuming that you get to, it's a wallet and you can store your money and it's non-custodial, and you can withdraw whenever you need to. I like that, right? Okay, earn rewards on all held coins while keeping your assets. Pretty cool, right? I definitely should do a video on this guy. Okay, 8% on the stable coins. Scott, do you do PancakeSwap? Okay, I don't know. Scott, you doing PancakeSwap? Conservative investments, keep this live stream bipartisan, please. I have some BTC sitting on exchange, so I decided to move some in there and got something if it's stored unsafely on exchange anyway. Can you elaborate how to attach a passphrase to a new PIN code on your Ledger Nano S? It's a bit complicated, but I did a video on it. Yeah, with the passphrase. Hey guys, crypto. So this is a step-by-step. That would be the way I would elaborate it. But basically, once you've set up your ledger with its original 24-word recovery phrase, you have that phrase written down. There is a function where you can, and I'll try to show it to you here. Let's get out of this. Whoops. Right. If you hold down both buttons for a few seconds, it's going to take you to the what they call the command center. And if you scroll over to settings and hit both buttons, and then scroll over to security and hit both buttons again, there's a passphrase function, right? So when you go into the passphrase function, you can do an attach to pin, which creates a passphrase that's attached to a separate pin so that you can get to it by entering an alternate pin. And that reveals the secret wallet. Or you can do the set temporary, which is you enter a passphrase, you set a passphrase, and once you've set the passphrase, a new configuration is generated where you can create and fund and manage wallets with the regular apps that you've got on here, but they won't be accessible once you unplug the device and plug it back in again and just enter the regular PIN. They'll be like secret wallets because the only way to gain access to them is through entering the passphrase again. I'm going to cancel out on this. That's kind of where it's at, right? And it's the interface is a little tricky, and I don't want to get people confused. And the reason I don't talk that much about the passphrase functionality is because if you lose the passphrase, you can lose access to your crypto. And I've talked to a lot of people that asked me for help, and they said some guru on the website said they should use a passphrase to protect their crypto, and then they screwed it up somehow. Either they re-entered the passphrase wrong, or they re-entered it wrong the first time, because we got to face it, the people, us, these people, our people, people are not, in our culture of the U.S. or of, you know, the modern culture of society, are not precise people, right? We're slap hazard. We create passwords and then we forget them, and then so we go to tech support, we call Facebook, or we reset it with our email. But crypto is not like that. If you forget your password, then you've lost access to your crypto. And I've heard a lot of sad stories that involved passphrases. And I was kind of like, why did you think you needed a passphrase? And they said, oh, because so-and-so said it was the most secure way to hold my coins. And yes, it is, but it's also the most fraught with pitfalls and errors that could cause you to lose your very own crypto by forgetting the password or misentering it or whatever. I mean, you've got a hardware wallet with a 24-word recovery phrase that you have stored in a safe place, that should be enough, man. The whole I gotta put that passphrase on there is just, you're begging for trouble, man. Novices are gonna screw something up and lose access to their coins. I've seen it happen. Believe you me, I have seen it happen. So yeah, it's the most secure way to store coins on a ledger device, but you better know what you're doing. You're much better off just using the ledger in its default mode. And I mean, people have enough trouble doing that. Why make things more complicated, right? Why add a level of complexity when it's really not necessary, right? You're not a Russian spy. So just keep your passphrase in a safe place somewhere. And, you know, don't reveal your passphrase to anybody, and don't tell people your PIN. Keep a password on your computer. Lock your house. Lock your windows. You know, just be a normal, secure person. You know, you don't have to go full NSA spy in order to store your crypto. Anyway, that's my rant for tonight. Anyway, I wanted to talk about the KAVA. I talked about the KAVA. I talked about PancakeSwap. We talked about the Justin Sun thing. We did a little about Uniswap. Please do a flare snapshot video from Ledger Nano X in the future. I believe you can get 25% interest bonus without verifying, but you have to be verified to get the Nexo dividend. Even audited coins are only as good as the company that audited. Very good point. Does Rex like LBRY credits? I'm on LBRY. If you look down in the description of the video, you'll see there's a link to my LBRY page. And right now, I am accumulating their tokens on that platform. I don't know what I'm trying to do here. LBR. So yeah, wants me to. If they didn't make me upgrade every 2 days, I wouldn't, you know. And I had this on my old machine before I upgraded, and something glitched on it and it wouldn't update. And it was during an update. I'll turn that off. It was during an update that it glitched out on me, and it didn't work for a really long time. But this is LBRY. It's another video sharing content platform. And I'm on here, and I've linked it to my YouTube channel so that whenever I upload a video on YouTube, it loads on their platform. But the problem I have with LBRY is that when I try to manually upload videos, it takes forever, and it's error prone. It'll glitch at the very end, and then I have to start over. So it's not as robust a platform as YouTube, but it is uncensorable, right? It's on a blockchain. But by linking my YouTube channel to it, it appears that all of my videos are there, right? So if you go to this channel, all of my YouTube videos are on here. And so it's pretty cool. And I do earn a pretty good amount of LBRY tokens on here. At one point, I think, back when the market was up, I sold some of these. It was like a couple $100 that I had accumulated. And I left most of it on here. But right now, I don't know that it's even worth cashing out. The market's down right now. The altcoin market's down. September, the altcoin market, early September, Bitcoin and the altcoin market took a pretty big hit, right? Bitcoin was up around 12 or whatever, and it went down to like 10 something. And then the alt market followed it down, and it was just horrible. We've since recovered a bit, but not back to where we were, right? So LBR, I don't have anything invested in LBR money-wise except for time and effort. So I'm not worried about these coins. I'll just leave them there till they're worth something. But it's a great platform. You should check it out. If if you're a content creator or if you want to watch videos that aren't censored. Celsius appears only to be an app and not a wallet, right? We have to look into that, right? Check out layer 2 for yield farming on Dracula. I think it will be copied on Binance Chain, Tron Chain. It's a new tech that no other yield farms do, sucking APY from other farms. Now that's interesting. This is pretty cool. So yeah, so you got to balance it between looking for the next great thing and also being cautious to avoid scams, right? Dracula sucks. Okay. Interesting. All right. And so you would connect to a wallet. I don't know which wallet you would connect to. And then this whole thing about unlocking your wallets, connecting your wallets. Some people are claiming that if you do such things, you could open up your wallet to hackers. It's a possibility. I don't know. I think that MetaMask is pretty stable in that. Let's see what happens here. So we're going to go to MetaMask. Let's connect. I'll connect this wallet, okay? We'll do that. Let's see. Is it going to connect? I'm assuming this uses like the regular victims list. This uses like the regular. Okay. I have no DNCR on here, of course. I'm assuming that there's an exchange of some kind. I don't know. Huh. Okay. This is kind of cool. I like the graphics. So I'd have to look a little more into this. Right? They've got the Uniswap, select, non-drainable. Interesting. Very interesting. We'll check that out, right? Dracula sucks. Let's put that in new technology. So we check that out in a bit. So there's all kinds of stuff out there. But like I said, I don't know. Is this audited or not audited? We don't know. We can look over here, find out more about it on Medium. You know, do your research. Be very careful. Yes, it's probably the next great thing, right? This is fairly recent, all right? Could be, but it also could be a scam where they're sucking you in, no pun intended, because you think it's the next great thing and you want to jump in while it's hot, right? So pretty cool. I like that. Josh, good night. It was good seeing you. Nice having you. Hired the former head of TikTok and marketing at VP Growth like 2 months ago. They also created Odyssey, just not which feels better to use than YouTube. Okay. Art Drubo, I hope I answered your question about passphrases. Did I? I put the video link up there. Okay. You don't know that I'm not a spy. It could be. Please do a Flare snapshot video and Nano X in the future. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just not going to do a video on Flare. I don't have any XRP, so I'm not going to run out and buy XRP just to do a Flare video for a coin that I don't see the point. I've been on this one before. I guess I'm too old and cranky for my job, but I don't understand why they're going to give me coins just because I have XRP, but they want to see my XRP wallet. They want me to tag my XRP wallet so that they can query it and they'll know to give me coins. Just seems, what's the word? Wonky. Wonky. Maybe scammy, but I like wonky better. It seems too wonky. But people keep begging me, do a video on it. There's videos out there. All you got to do is go on YouTube and search for Flare, and there's all kinds of videos that show you how to do it. I'm not going to do it. Life feels LBRY works much easier than YouTube when you post. I don't know. I haven't, like I said, it used to be a problem, but I haven't posted on it in a while, so I don't know if LBRY still has those upload issues. But maybe they've resolved that now. It's gained a lot of momentum over the last several months. Scott Lee, Scott Lee, it's late in the video and you're still here. You look like you're still here. Mr. David, how are you doing today? We went to see Trump last night, if you can believe that. I don't want to lose half my audience, but I'm not a big fan of politicians in general. I'm more of a libertarian, I guess. I'm not an anarchist, but more of a libertarian. But I'm 57 years old. I had never seen the President of the United States in person. So we packed up the family and we drove to Muskegon, Michigan, which is about 50 minutes from Grand Rapids, to see our president. Whether you like him or hate him, he is the President of the United States. And I have never seen the President of the United States with my own eyes before. So we went to Muskegon to check him out. All right. Didn't get to see him. Couldn't get in. We got there too late. I didn't want to be there too early because I didn't want the kids to be bored. But I didn't count on the fact that we were going to have to park like a mile away. It was more than a mile. So it was like a 30-minute walk. So by the time we got there and got in line, and we were like, I don't know, we were probably like maybe 100, 200 people out to go through security, and then they stopped letting people in. I don't know why they couldn't just, I mean, it was a frigging airport landing strip. I don't know why they couldn't just let everybody go in there. But I guess they said, the fire marshal says there's too many people. There were about 10,000 people there, I would have to say. At least. Right? But we didn't get in to see him. We got close, and we got to see a lot of other Trump supporters. And then I came home and watched his speech on YouTube. So that's why I didn't do the live stream last night, because we wanted to check out our president. Yeah, he was here in Muskegon last night. And then after Muskegon, it was at the Muskegon airport, which is, it's on the lake. It's on the west coast of Michigan. After Muskegon, he went to Wisconsin. And now I guess he's in like Florida now. It's pretty cool. Ted Nugent was there, yeah, right. I didn't see Ted either. I didn't see Ted. I heard, we heard his plane land. We didn't see him get off the plane. We saw him get off the plane on the teleprompter. But then, and we were like, okay, we'll just listen to him, right? And we'll watch him on the teleprompter. Well, they had the sound system set up to where the music was blaring outside the airport where we were all in line. But then as soon as he started talking, we couldn't hear him. The sound system for his mic was only set up inside there with the people that were in the stands and in front. So we were outside the airport in line to get in. We couldn't hear him. So we were like, I mean, if I could have heard him, I might have stayed and listened to the speech, but we couldn't hear him. So we went home. We beat the crowd. Anyway, I'm voting even if I'm sick. Yeah, we've got, I'm going to go vote. We've got our polling place is not far from where we live. They never are. It's just down the street. So my wife and I are going to go vote in person. We got nothing else to do, right? That's the thrill of voting. And it's my wife's first time to vote in a U.S. election. She got her citizenship, but it's been a year since she's been a citizen, but she hasn't voted yet. So, boom. Great. Oh, you already voted MAGA. Ted Nugent on your Second Amendment. Yay. Scott. DRC. Great project. Okay. So, yeah, I'll definitely check out this Dracula protocol, figure out how to use it, maybe do a video on Dracula. And then the other one that you guys were asking me about, or I don't know where it went. Must be in the other browser. Oh yeah, this Celsius thing. We'll check it out. I'll chew some bubble gum. I'll check it out. Get the app, right? And I don't know, is it like, oh, I think it's only on your phone, right? I think that's the deal. Is that it? Yeah. It's only a phone-based thing. I'm a little leery of, I love phone, I love Trust Wallet, But sometimes it's like there's this one called privacy dot something, and it's only on the phone. I'm like, how can you be private on your phone anyway? I'm like, Apple knows everything I do with my phone. They know when I walk 5 feet from the kitchen to the dining room. You know, I'm not sure I'm going to trust a platform that runs on my iPhone to protect my privacy. So I don't know this Celsius thing, but you can have a non-custodial wallet on a phone, right? I theoretically, if Apple cannot get into my phone, theoretically, the phone is encrypted. If unless I enter my passcode, Apple cannot access my phone. I believe that still holds true. I would like to believe that it holds true. So, but if I'm moving things in and off of my phone, who's to say that's not in their logs somewhere, right? So, but the private key is protected of like my Trust wallet. I'm reasonably certain that my Trust wallet private key is safe, even though it's stored on my phone. You can't gain access to it unless you gain access to my phone. Now you could tie me in a chair and hold the phone up to my face. That's. But I mean, if I were to lose the phone, or someone were to steal the phone from me, they probably wouldn't be able to get into the wallet, right? And I've got a backup. So this thing, the Celsius thing, if you install it on your phone, you're probably reasonably secure as long as you keep your phone secure, right? Don't use 4 ones as your passcode. NSA, dude. Right. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that the iPhone can't be accessed. Although there's all kinds of stuff that the law enforcement can do. They've got they connect some dongle to it and they connect it to some Israeli software that cracks it. Whatever. I don't know. So who knows? Yeah, I didn't move too much crypto around. I talked with Randy a month or two ago. We were having lunch, having some pie, Grand Traverse Pie Company, and we were talking about my live stream. And I've been doing the live stream basic for a long time now, maybe like almost 2 years. I've been showing people how to move Bitcoin from an exchange to a wallet. And for some of you guys who've been with me all this time, that may be getting old for you, right? You're like, okay, we know how to move Bitcoin from a wallet to an exchange or vice versa. A lot of people maybe don't know that, but I was kind of getting burned out on it, which is why I've kind of shifted to showing you guys the DeFi platform stuff. And, I'll gladly, walk you through that kind of stuff. I should probably have some concrete examples lined up next time to where, we can actually make some transactions. I can show you this stuff on my phone, right? I can share my phone with you guys. So maybe next week or the week after or whatever, I'll get some of this stuff set up so that I can demo some of these newer things. Like I said, I'm feeling left behind lately. It's so crazy these days. There's like some new things out. I mean, Uniswap is less than a year. PancakeSwap has been like less than 2 months. I don't know about this Dracula thing, how long that's been around. I was going to talk about the Binance Chain wallet tonight, which is another extension which you can use to swap the chains, right? You can swap regular Binance BNB token over to Binance Smart Chain BNB tokens, which are different, right? They're on a different chain. So this is a great way to do both of those. I put a link to this down in the description below. I think I demoed it last week when we did PancakeSwap. That's how we were able to withdraw our Binance coin from Binance US and then switch it over to the Binance Smart Chain, right? And also I wanted to point out that, we're talking about PancakeSwap. Is it audited? Is it legit? Is it associated with Binance? Is it not associated with Binance? But if you look on the exchange here, they link directly to this bridge Like, so you've got the exchange, you've got the pool, and then you've got this bridge that takes you over to the Binance Panama app, which is sort of like that Binance extension with a little more functionality. This is kind of like CoinSwitch Pro, where you say, okay, I'm gonna deposit US Tether, right? And I want to switch it to Binance Chain Tether. And you put in an address, and when you connect the wallet, it's going to ask you to make a deposit. It'll generate an address for you. So they're like, okay, you know, deposit your Tether tokens in this address, and we'll exchange them for Binance Chain Tether, right, or whatever, right? So, but it's linked right in the Pancake. Of course, maybe they can link to anything, right? But it just seems like it's pretty integrated with Binance in many ways, and maybe they'll get it audited soon, hopefully. And these, I don't know. I don't know why they would want to remain anonymous, but maybe, you know, they might decide that they want to be more transparent, right? So we'll check it out. To withdraw from Celsius Network, you also have to have an email confirmation as well, which you have to confirm before funds are released. So sounds like a little two-factor authentication in Celsius. I'll check it out. We'll see what's going on with Celsius. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining me tonight. I tried to cover a lot of ground on stuff that's new. I appreciate everybody that threw in their opinions and suggestions for new things, even that I didn't know about. Like I said, I feel like everything's passing me by. I'm having trouble keeping my head above water, staying up to date with all this stuff. But it's definitely an interesting time to be in crypto, right? We've gone so far beyond just buying and holding Bitcoin, right? Before it was, let's buy and hold Bitcoin, and then we moved to, well, let's explore altcoins, right? And we always thought of them as some sort of investment where you buy and hold, right? Maybe it goes to the moon and you sell and you make some profit. But now we've gone so far beyond that now, right? We're in staking, we're in liquidity pools, we're in DeFi, yield farming. I mean, we've just gone so far beyond, you know, and, you know, people on the outside that ask you about crypto, they don't even know what Bitcoin is, you know, and we're at this point now where all this exotic stuff is just, but it's the new frontier. There's a lot of, you know, income to be had in looking at these. You know, so I encourage you to check these out. Do your due diligence. Only risk what you're willing to lose, and find your risk. How much risk you're willing to endure or take, right? Risk management. Okay, this is a new DeFi platform by anonymous developers that's not audited. Are you comfortable with that? If you are, great. If you aren't, then don't do it. Right? Uniswap, this is great too. Are you going to take a chance and go high yield and monitor your investment several times a day to make sure that it's still earning, or if it hasn't dropped down to like number 20 or whatever? Or are you going to play it safe and go with the high liquidity pools and just earn a comfortable APR, whatever, annual percentage yield, annual percentage return, whatever you want to call it, right? Or you could, you know, check out the Tron one, which is cool also, where you can earn money by, some Russian spy dislike, where you can earn money by staking your liquidity pool tokens, which is pretty cool. And like I said, this has gone way down. This was like 1,000%. I think I earned like, I don't know, 6 Sun in the early days of this, and now it's been in here like 3 days and it hasn't even earned 1. So they get hot and then they cool off. So you got to stay up to date with these. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining me. We'll do it again next week. I'll probably go back to Saturday next week, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join me again for the live stream where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. Hope to see you there. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon.